What's good, everybody? It's Big C from RBC, known as Big C behind on Cortonos, and today I'm just going to give you a server update. What's kind of been going on the last week, what everybody's been discussing in game and on Discord. And first off, I have to say mistakes have been made. As you can tell, I have shaved. And it wasn't on purpose. I was attempting to trim the beard, and I got myself. So I had to commit to cutting the rest of it off because it looked horrible. Now I just look like, I don't know, I'm possibly 12 years old, but it's been a week and my hair's basically, it's starting to come back. But I got myself like right here and you could just see it, and it was awful. And I tried to fix it, and I'm like, you know what? Just hack her off and we'll go on about our life. It does make wearing the mask easier, even though my face does get a little chilly at times. But the beard will come back bigger and better. That's the good thing about it. Now, get on into server discussion. And yeah, you know, phase 5 sucks in my opinion. AQ's not really an exciting raid. Sure, the gates opening up, the 10-hour war, all those things were great. You know, farming for it wasn't great, but everything else involved with that part and that event was great. I remember seeing it the first time in Classic and just thought it was super cool. And it was great to be a part of it again, especially on a PvP server. In the past, I was on a PvE server. Now, the amount of content that I've experienced in the past is dramatically different than now. Back in the day, the only thing I actually cleared raid-wise was Anixia, and everything else was either a failed attempt or just never went in. But back then, I enjoyed the community of what WoW was, and that's really why a lot of us is on Classic WoW. The bad side, the downside of all of that is how Cortonos as a server functions. And I'm going to express one point that I even noticed when I rolled here to play with a couple real life friends, and how it affected me while leveling up. I believe I either came at the end of phase 3, but I'm pretty sure it was phase 4 because ZG was out, and or ZG was getting ready to come out. So I came in somewhere in that area, and I remember leveling up the hunter, and I was just doing a little bit of quest, not familiar with the horde quest. I'm not gonna lie, I'm an alliance player, and a lot of it was new to me. I didn't know where to go, and I just found places to grind out experience, places that would be good for farming cloth and other things, and I just grinded my heart out. And there's one thing I did notice though: finding groups for dungeons did not happen. They were actually rare, to be honest. And when I left Westfall to roll on Horde, Horde side and Alliance side, between those two servers, the numbers were about the same. And today it's not the case. Today the numbers are completely different. And the reason why I say that is, over time, Cortonos has lost active players, and I can understand why, and that's part of it. You know, leveling alts isn't exciting, but one thing I did like about leveling an alt was the fact of running dungeons. I like running dungeons, and you talk to people and you make friends with people. It's like, oh, this was a good dungeon group. You know, if you run anything else, let me know and I'll go with you. And that's not the case on Cortonos. People buy runs. Yep, and it sucked if you don't have a level 60 and you're leveling on the server for the first time, and all you see is these runs, and you have to just grind quests all the time. Quest grinding sucks, or just flat out grinding experience sucks, and running dungeons was always a good way to get a nice break. You had those quests for those dungeons a lot of times, and sometimes they gave you things you needed, like, you know, you needed this new piece of gear to help your level, or it gave you a bag that you didn't have, a good sized bag. And I didn't get to do a lot of that stuff while leveling up, and it sucked, to be honest. And it kind of hurt my experience leveling up on Cortonos too. The only upside was if I did get ganked by Alliance, which actually played during that time, people would run to me to help. If anything involved world PvP at that time, people would come and, you know, help out other people at the time, and it was really reassuring that that happened. Horde side's always been bigger than Alliance side, and at that time people still cared about PvP. At least the Horde players did, and they somewhat got along. And that's another bad thing about Cortonos as well. Just let's be honest, guys, a lot of Horde guilds or people, they just don't like each other, and I don't know why. You know, Horde is usually known as being a super loyal group of players. I remember years ago going and getting going to GameStop and getting expansions when they came out and stuff, and I was like the only Alliance guy there. Everybody else would be Horde, and they're just all shouting and they're hyped up and stuff, and you could just tell that it was a close group, it was a close community with the Horde players. But on this server, that's not the case, and I think that's something else that hurts. I think it's something else too that hurts the experience as being Horde on Cortonos. I know that I met somebody on Pagel. Why I started a hunter on Pagel, I don't know. It's a huge server, it's super active, there's always runs going on, maybe that's why. And it was just somewhere just to get a little bit of peace and quiet. And I was talking in world chat, and somebody messaged me, my name there is Blue Bee Hunting. Why I didn't make it Big C Bee Hunting, I don't know. And they're like, you Big C from Cortonos? I'm like, yes, it is me. They're like, you're the only person I know that puts bee hunting in the name for a hunter. I figured you was from there. I'm from there too. And we got to talking, and the person raids on Cortonos and stuff, but they absolutely hate it. They don't like the server, and the reason why is people on the server don't really help each other like they once did. I remember people would come and help me during World PvP or anything, and it was somewhat easy to get into groups. I won't say easy, it was kind of hard. I looked out and got my Nixie achievement done really easy, which was a surprise. But aside from that, finding groups has been tough, and I've noticed too that people's not really helpful, and there's times that and I've recently experienced this myself. When you ask for help, and even if you offer to pay gold for this service of help, people think you're asking for a handout. People wants to, and a lot of times people wants to point fingers when they're playing that way themselves. They're getting handouts and they're trying to put attention on somebody else for some unknown reason. I don't know, and I don't understand it. I think it's ridiculous. At the end of the day, there's not enough people on this server that helps out one another. Cortonos doesn't have that community feel to it because there's so many Horde players that just don't like each other. There are literally Horde players with Alliance characters that's level 60, and they kill other Horde players. It's true. Do I know who these players are? I do. I know who Android 1 is. I know who Android 2 is. I know who Zugdashore is. There's another player. I don't remember his Alliance character's name, but I've never heard of him doing anything bad either. And honestly, if you're a Horde player, World PvP doesn't happen like it used to. I mean, I remember I used to be out farming, and while I was in AVQ, and I would run into people, we'd fight a bit and stuff, or you'd be out somewhere and here's 3 lions jumping you all of a sudden. And sure, when 3 people jump you, it's super annoying and it sucks. But people actually fought in world. It wasn't a massive try to get a big group together for a world boss stuff. It was just regular world PvP stuff, and the server doesn't have that anymore. The server's kind of dead, guys. And I hate to say it, a lot of people just gets the world bus, they raid log, they've got their gold already and stuff from the phases that they've been farming. They're already prepared for Nax. I'm slowly getting prepared for Nax. I am behind on that myself. Not that I really care. I can get caught up on the stuff that I need really quick if I desire to. I'm slowly farming stuff right now just so I don't have to spend so much money buying it. I hate burning through my gold, to be honest. I work hard to have it, to be able to goof around in the auction house a bit and make a little bit of gold and stuff, and it's really annoying when I have to burn it on things that I can either essentially farm myself, or I can pay somebody a better price in the auction house, because the auction house market is absolutely ridiculous at times. We all know something will sell for 8 gold one day, and the next gold it's 2 gold, but somebody will put a bajillion things of that item on the auction house and absolutely wreck the economy. It's stupid. People don't understand it. I've tried to explain it to people, but there are just some people that you can't talk to about making money. They don't understand. In general, making money involves spending money, and there are times that it has really benefited me that people have undercut the auction house. There's been times I've cleaned out the auction house and resold stuff. Sure, you have to sit on a little bit and it takes time to sell, but it has been worth it. I've done that with arcane crystals here recently, and I still have some in my bank just chilling, so it is what it is. That is one good thing about the server is, even though the auction house is crazy, it is possible to pretty much play it and make your gold that way. It just takes a little bit of work and effort, and basically have to check on it several times a day to really catch things like you need to. But overall, the server is suffering from, and I'm not going to say, the Purge War stuff, the dispelling whatnot. You know, I've not heard a whole lot about it recently, and that was a big downside for a lot of people. I know I've had people DM me and message me in game, be like, "Hey man, we've lost members. We're trying to recruit. People are tired of losing the world bus, yada yada yada, or they're transferred off the server, or or the whole guild's going to transfer." I've heard rumors of guilds considering transferring, and I don't know if they still plan on. I don't know if they still plan on doing it or not. I've not seen anybody transfer off the server, but that's pretty much what's going on these days. Is the server is slowly getting less active, and it's a shame really, because there are a lot of cool people on the server that I enjoy playing with and talking to. You know, I used to grind BGs, and I do like to run dungeons, to be honest. And I just don't even try to find dungeons for my druid. My druid's kitty DPS, and it sucks. I know that, but they're just not dungeons to run to attempt to get gear, so you can go into places like ZG and AQ20 and not absolutely look like trash. You know, it is what it is, and I hate that the status of the server has went down. I do think part of it is due to AQ 40. AQ's just not an interesting raid. People are sick of losing world bus. It's a PvP server, so cry more about it, I guess. I don't know. If you wasn't concerned about losing world bus, you shouldn't roll it on a PvP server. It is what it is. I actually killed an alliance player today. I finally seen one out in the world. They did kill me once, and I killed them 3 times, and then they do what typical alliance players do. Your parses are trash, your progression's trash, yada yada yada. You got wrecked 3 times out of 4, so I really don't care, bro. And that's just typical things, you know. It's so rare to find a alliance player anymore, though, and I really don't. I don't know. You know, I have an alliance hunter on the server as well. It's level 37, but you can't find groups alliance side. You can't even buy runs on the alliance side. It's just the activity on the alliance side is really bad. I think a lot of people went to retail too, and they're prepping for Shadowlands. But it's a shame, really. You know, Cortano's had a really nice community when I first came here, and I really did enjoy it, and I still enjoy it for that matter. You know, there's people that I still talk to every day or every other day or whatever. You know, the server Discord and other places, and you know, it's not as active as it used to be, and it's a shame. But you know, hopefully when Nax comes out, things will get a lot more active again. You know, there'll be more world busts to get. Hooray! People will be farming, you know, the frost resist stuff more, and you know, I'd love to see the server become active. And honestly, I would love the server to grow and get to the point that when Burning Crusade does come out, we don't have to merge. I know some people's like, I don't want to play with Cortano's people. They've said it themselves during BC. I'm like, well, these are people I've made friends with. Why would I not want to continue to play with them? I don't understand that train of thought. But currently at the size of the server, there's no doubt they'll probably have us transfer to a server. We'll probably pick where we want to go, and you know, hopefully things go well when that time comes. That's just the state of the server right now, guys. I hope y'all have a great night. I'm Big C for more BC. Stay safe, stay healthy, guys. Peace and God bless. I'm out.